Hey guys, so I wanted to candidly share my story as an over 40-year-old who's been laid off a couple times now from some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry. So what happened was that I've always considered myself as a happy-go-lucky kid and just really love being in the arts, love producing music, love seeing kind of music's impact on pop culture, on soft culture around the world, and also other entertainment mediums as well, such as games. So I've worked in both music and gaming for the past 25 years, and the pivotal moment came last March, 2024, when I got laid off by Riot Games, and no bad blood. When you're like over 40s, I think you have the wherewithal to tell yourself that it's nothing personal. It's a financial decision from the company, and then it was a tough period because even though I had severance, I had previous debts that I had to handle. So it wasn't like yes, purely my fault that I didn't have any excess for me to breathe a little. Given my financial commitments, I have like 5 mouths to feed. So that's my 2 daughters. My wife doesn't count, I guess, because she's pretty independent. And then also my own folks. I do support them as well. So yeah, tremendous pressure, and like anyone would, when you face in these kind of situations, you just apply for jobs, right? And what I found was that ageism is real. It got to a point where even though when I knew people intimately inside the company, I wasn't even getting past first round or second round of interviews. And after a couple of these situations, that saying, like, insanity is when you do the same thing over and over again and expecting the same outcome. There's a little kind of inkling in my head to go, you know what, I think, this is not working. You got to find out another way. And when you have mouths to feed, and then if you don't want to let in my case, don't want to let my girls down, I need to find a way to chart my own course. And for those who knew me, I started a business before, and I really didn't want to go back there in starting a business. I felt like in this case, with the ageism and all, I have no choice. I have no choice but to take matters in my own hand, and I need to start my own business. So with that, I started my own creative agency, wanting to help other gaming studios do music partnerships. And then the problem with B2B business is that it takes a long time, right? It takes a lot of decision makers and stakeholders to make a decision, and all it takes is for one person to somehow have the aches of the project, and the whole thing can go away. So I felt that wasn't sustainable, and I needed to find other ways to diversify my way of making an income. So with that, I was already quite burdened, facing a lot of pressure, and I decided to make the most important investment in my whole life, which is to invest into executive coaching. Shout out to Chris Tran, you know who you are. And it was really through this investment that my coach, Chris, got me to get over the fears of being too perfect, and tell my story. He really encouraged me to post regularly on LinkedIn, just share what I did before. And the thesis is that for people like us who are over 40, chances are that we've actually did a lot, accomplished a lot, but we just don't know how to kind of dust ourselves off and just tell the story, even though we're just telling like what we did. We're not even bragging, right? So I think for everyone out there who's going through the same thing, over 40, maybe getting laid off a couple times, one of the first exercise to do is to just list the top 10 projects or top 10 tasks you did from your past 2 jobs, and then you'll probably find that there's a pattern. It's like working on your LinkedIn headline. You need to figure out who you want to serve. Like, so the value statement goes along the lines of I help a certain avatar to get to the desired outcome with said tools and methodologies, right? And I find that going through the kind of top 10 things that I did, that I produce, helped me in crafting those value statements. So yeah, no, executive coaching helped me a lot in that respect, to get myself out there and not ask for validation or permission, which I find that I was in that kind of modus operatus whenever I was working in a company. So yeah, being fearless and just posting, that eventually got me from few hundred connections to 7,500 plus followers in over like the 90 days, which is bonkers, all organic, no paid ads, just by posting articles like twice a week on LinkedIn. How crazy is that? So that was I would say that was like the first turnaround that I had, where I was able to build an audience. The second important investment was, how many minutes are we now here? 7 minutes or so. The second turnaround was investing on sales training. So I decided to, I've looked at this sales training company called 7 Level, and I quite like their approach on kind of tonality and verbal pause in your sales process. And it wasn't cheap, but I thought I was kind of up at the creek in terms of needing to make income for the family. So I invested on sales training as well. So now I have a sales script that I'm constantly refining, to make sure that it's authentic. And what is it? I joined it in August, and I made my first sale in September, and then had my first 10K month in revenue around November. So I would say, so the timeline is, severance from Riot Games end of March, started growing my audience from like April to June. So around July, I think I hit 7.5K followers around August, started closing sales in September, and then had my first 10K months around November. So March till November, that was how I was able to turn things around, and now I've opened up my own executive coaching business, helping people to go through the same turnaround. Yeah, so in my case, call it March till November. What was that? So like around 8 months. 8 months to make my first 10K months, and I can't believe it. I think that if there's one takeaway that I want to communicate across on this video is that yeah, investment works. And in this case, investment in training, in my case, I invested in executive coaching and sales training. Now I have that kind of system, right? The top funnel marketing on LinkedIn, and then like the sales scripts to make the sale. You put those two together. That's what really caused the turnaround. And I'm so grateful for everyone that's helped me along the way. And I'm now hopeful that I can grow even more and get out of this funk, get out of this slump. And I want to be able to help other people as well who need help in this area. So that's what I do. Thanks for watching. Keep fighting the good fight. Give your family members a hug, and don't forget what you're doing this, who you're doing this for. Which is to create lasting memories with your loved ones. Thanks for your support, and I hope to see you around.